1 year ago today, I got married. And over the past year, man, my understanding, my perspective, what I'd recommend other guys to do in terms of marriage is completely changed. And I think a lot of men have grown to believe that marriage is this con game. It protects women, it's not for men, which is why this is a message I think every man needs to hear. So we are here in Sevilla, Spain, gonna be hanging out here the next few weeks. What happened here?
We got married here.
We did. It's also where my family's from here in Spain.
Wait, but I'm curious, what's going on with our marriage?
I figured she'd be a little curious about this one. All right, before I go off, I'm curious from your perspective, 1 year later, your thoughts on marriage.
Well, now that I've been married for a year, I think the thing that really bothers me is when women look at marriage as just a ring on the finger or a big wedding day and not like a full commitment for life. They're just like, oh, if it doesn't work out, I'll just get a divorce. And how I was raised, like, that does not fly. Like, you're in it for life.
Yeah, I guess we're kind of locked into this thing, huh?
You stuck with me.
But you bring up women having a little like jaded view on marriage, and there's this interesting stat that came out from Morgan Stanley that by 2030, 45% of women ages 25 to 44 will be single and childless.
Damn.
Which is shocking. And it says the main cause behind this is women participating more in the workforce, meaning that more women are committing to a job instead of a man. And I think a lot of girls have been fed this lie that they can basically follow a man's path. They can just choose their career first, and then once they're in their 30s or 40s, then they can figure out the whole like marriage and kids thing.
And I've seen this with my friends who are in their early 30s, mid 30s, and they're like, yeah, I want to find a guy and settle down and have kids.
And the problem arises because women in their 30s, first of all, they're on this biological time frame, right? Because they want to be pregnant by 35 at the latest. After that, it's harder for them to be fertile. There's also a higher incidence of birth defects in kids. And that means as a guy, if you're meeting a girl who's 32, you basically have like 3 years to lock yourself in to a marriage, or maybe you don't want to do marriage, but you basically have 3 years to like vet the girl, make sure it's all good, and commit to having children with her, which is essentially a lifelong commitment. So there's a lot of added pressure. I also find that women in their 30s have a little bit of more bitterness towards men, maybe because they chose the career, they're independent, they've made their own money, they feel like I actually don't need a man, or maybe they're in a long relationship they got broken up with. And they just have a bit more of like a difficult mindset. I think they're gonna be less likely to buy into your program, follow your lead as a man. That's not what they know. And the whole point here is that us men need to recognize these cultural shifts, because it means that we ideally should be meeting women between the ages of 22 and 30 when the relationship starts, in order to give a longer term thing the best chance of success and actually have that strong masculine feminine dynamic.
I was born and when I watched the elevate.
Games, bruh.
Workout complete, bro. Dope new gym just opened in downtown Sevilla called Basic Fit.
It's really cool.
You know, something I've noticed as I've gotten a little older, and I've noticed a lot of couples who, after a few years, they just like lose their sex life, versus those that keep it. They have this robust lust between each other even after years. It's one simple thing they do differently. They go to the gym and they lift weights together. There's something about going in there, getting this like intense workout and sweating, then going home and
Have another intense workout.
but also sweating. And if the girl you're seeing does not already lift, it can actually be a bit of a cheat code if you're the one who teaches her how to do it. This happened with my first girlfriend, and it really strengthened that like masculine feminine dynamic. That's also why it's crucial as a man to already have a good body and be training in the gym. So right now, if your body's not where you want it to be, or you don't feel confident in your routine when you walk into the gym, I'd highly recommend you download the Beastly app. It's like having a personal trainer in your pocket. It's gonna walk you through every workout step by step, show you how to execute the exercises. It automatically incorporates all of the latest science, tells you exactly what weight, how many reps and sets to do for each exercise, so you can see the fastest results possible. And the good news is you can click the first link in description right now to download Beastly and get 7 days completely free. If you don't like it, you don't pay. There's even female programs in there. I got Julia running one. You could get your girl on one as well. Click the link, download the app, stop making excuses.
Save me.
All right, so we said for women, 22 to 30 is the ideal age range to start the relationship. For men, it is going to be completely different. We play by a completely different set of rules. When we're in our early 20s, we are not a leader yet. We haven't had enough experience to be a true leader. We're still trying to figure out our path in life. And if we can't lead our own life confidently, how the fuck are we gonna also lead a woman? Not to mention, women tend to get more bitter towards men as they get older because they tend to get more attention from men when they're younger, and then that dies off. We're the opposite. When we're younger, we tend to have a little bit of that red pill rage sometimes. We're bitter towards women. We resent them because we're not getting a lot of attention from them naturally when we're younger. We're missing out on women to guys that are better looking, older, more experienced, more wealthy than us. But then as we get older, assuming we're actually fucking putting in the work and leveling up our lives, we start to get more attention from women. Dating becomes a lot easier. We start to understand female nature, and then we tend to be in a better place to actually start a healthy relationship with women where we don't have that bitterness. Even the most successful younger guys that I know, for example, Jack Hopkins, CEO of Testosterone, saw him a few months ago. He's making $100K a month at 24 years old, killing the social media game. Of course, he can date really hot women, but he's just starting to tap into his potential in life. He doesn't need that distraction necessarily at this crucial growth stage. And even when a younger guy is able to get a higher level, really attractive girl, those women tend to respect these men a little bit less. And they're not as down to buy into the fact that he's the boss, he's the leader, he's making the decisions. That starts to happen as you get a little bit more maturity and experience. And that's why it's fucking crucial in your 20s to be focused on leveling up in the gym, with your confidence, with your money. You know, if you're working a job right now and you're already kind of at the ceiling, you need to change careers. That's one reason I recently partnered with Course Careers, because they offer these different courses online to allow you to quickly learn a higher earning skill like technology sales, for example, and then you can quickly land a job in the 60 to 80K starting salary range. You can click the link down in the description to learn more about Course Careers and get a little discount. If you're thinking about changing careers, this is the perfect opportunity. Anyway, for all these reasons, I think the ideal age as a man to enter a relationship that could develop into a marriage is somewhere from 27 to 40. Younger than that, and you're just not putting yourself in the best position to establish a strong masculine feminine dynamic in the relationship. Older than that, and a lot of women in the right age range that we're looking for are not going to be interested in you. And of course, this doesn't mean to force the next girl you meet into being in a relationship. It just means to start paying attention to those green flags that mean she might be wifey material. And I think the number one green flag, aside from, you know, all the obvious ones you've heard a million times, is how much does this girl want to support your mission? How much does she want to be the queen in your kingdom? I think that's something Julia had that really drew me to her. It's something I see in a lot of other successful couples. You know, Max and Taylor, she definitely has these ride or die qualities as well. And I think that's the sign of a girl who's going to be along with you for your adventure, helping you get to the top of the game over the years to come.
Save me.
Little anniversary gift for wifey.
I'm so excited. I love Saint Laurent. Oh. What is it, guys? Oh my goodness. Look at this beautiful bag. Are you kidding me? I love it so much. It's the perfect everyday bag. Exactly what I wanted.
I know you wanted that everyday bag, so I went to all the designer stores to find the perfect everyday bag in the perfect colorway.
It is perfect. Thank you so much. I love you. You ready?
I think I got Uggs. So we'll see what's going on with my anniversary Uggs right here. Ooh. These will be, we got the tile floors in Marbella. So in the winter, even though it's not that cold, some days where it's a little bit colder, I think the insole came out. Some days where it's a little bit colder, it's gonna be nice to have my feet nice and toasty in here.
Yeah, in Spain, because the floors are so cold, everybody got their day slippers.
I'm gonna call these the grind slippers. I'm gonna be grinding with these on. When you're in the land of the tapas, you gotta tapayar. So look, there's ham and then there's jamon. I don't eat ham in the States. Jamon, Spanish ham, this shit, low-key better than breakfast tacos. What you do, they have these little picos, they're called little breadsticks. You wrap it in that.
Guys, these are like the holy grail of potatoes. It's patatas bravas, and it has the white sauce and the red sauce. This is like the best looking one.
Yo, it's got the white sauce and it's got the red sauce. We also got a bunch of other shit like some fish, 10 out of 10 meal. So obviously in this video, I focused a lot on the timing of marriage in terms of your age and the woman's age. And I know there's gonna be a lot of people coming at me in the comments. Guys, these are just rough guidelines. For example, I said 27, the youngest age for a man, because That's when I met Julia, and I can't imagine any earlier than that, having been able to been in the right place to start a relationship that went to marriage. Maybe you're 40 years old and you meet a girl who's 32. Technically, that's older than 30. You're like, fuck, but David said 30. That can work as well. These are just where I think the most optimal timelines lie. And I also want to give y'all an update on our marriage because it has been exactly 1 year. How do you feel about our marriage?
Well, I think I'm a little biased because I'm in it, but I think it's amazing. I'm just so in love with you, and I think we have the best relationship. And I don't know, I just think a year went by like that. Like I didn't, yeah.
Funny thing is, most divorces happen either from year 0 to 2, so we're halfway through that, or from years 5 to 8, which is probably like when kids start getting older and shit hits the fan. So obviously we got some challenges ahead of us, I'm sure, but
I think it's also helped that we've been together for 7 years, so we really figured a lot out.
I think we created a very strong foundation. We probably over communicated, if anything. So now when new things come up, like religion with the kids or things with our in-laws, we're very good at getting past like the angry stage and just learning to find what the right boundaries are. And I think, we got some good momentum in this fucking relationship. I really feel like we're on a team.
Remember, you're stuck with me.
On the way to conquering the world together. It's felt like that since day one. So we're not perfect, but I'm very in love with this woman right here. If you made it to the end of this video, I highly recommend you watch my new podcast that just dropped with Amadeo Yados.
I don't want to make $1 million a month. I want to spend $1 million a month.
Well, you got to be making more than $1 million to spend $1 million.
Like the only person that has to validate yourself is you.
So what changed when you did the cocaine overdose?
If you drink, you do drugs, you're a piece of that is selfish.
I can start these other girls on the side.
You're fake, bro.
All right, let's talk about your wife now.
If it was not because of her, I'll be dead.
She wasn't that hot anyway.
Your level of success is never gonna exceed your level of personal development. That's something people don't understand.
How come?
I'm in a fucking $20 million mansion. Like, it was yesterday I was washing dishes.
Confidence is betting on yourself.
People just see what they lack. You see the AP, you see the Lambos because you don't have them. You don't understand that I have this shit because of who I am.
We get deep into his journey, going from being literally addicted to cocaine, being broke, to now making millions, driving Lambos, living in the Miami Islands. We talk about his relationship with his wife, his marriage, very different than mine and Julia's, but very interesting nonetheless. Click there to watch that video now, and I will talk to you in the next video. Stay beastly.